This is the thing when you do a stream on your own, you're not sure if people can hear you or not. Do me a favor in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me now. Big up Walker for letting me know that you couldn't hear me. Can you hear me now? Let's check. Couldn't hear me. Yeah, well, I've just checked on my phone. Yeah, perfect. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that, Walker. Big up, man. But yeah, as I was saying, so for me, Saturday is just so important. It's a humongous game for Arsenal Football Club. Sunderland are doing really well. They're in the top four. I know that they've just come up and all of that. Of course, you know, you expect us to go and beat them. But I think we've got to start wrapping these players up in cotton wool, and we've really got to start concentrating on the Premier League. Because look, even if we lost today against Slavia Prague, it really, you know, I don't even think it stops our momentum in the league. I wouldn't mind. I would like a lot of changes to be made today. The only player I might play is Saka, because I feel like Saka needs to get a goal. He obviously missed that chance against Burnley, which he's got to be taken. Gyökeres put him through, could have got himself an assist as well. So for me, maybe Saka would play. But it's difficult in the midfield, right? And it's also up front, because if you want to play Mikel Merino up front, it means you have to play a midfield of Rice, Eze, and Norgard, because obviously Zubimendi is suspended for tonight's game against Slavia Prague. So Arteta has got some difficult decisions to make today. Gabriel, do you risk him? We need him. We don't want him to even pick up a knock. We need him against Sunderland. Of course, Hincapié can come in. Mosquera can come in and do a job. We know these players can play at the highest level. I think Timber has to get a rest because Ben White has to get a game. Simple as that. And Ben White's always a 7 out of 10. It's just Timber's usually an 8 or a 9 out of 10. David Raya, I wouldn't be too fussed if I saw Kepa get. He was good against Brighton. I would not mind if he made 10 changes and went with the same team against Brighton, because I think this is a pivotal weekend in the Premier League that we could look back on. Because if we slip up against Sunderland and only get a draw, let's say we only get a draw, that hands the initiative right over to Liverpool and City, and one of them could go and get a statement win. You know, if we only get a draw and Liverpool beat Manchester City at home in front of their own fans, and suddenly it's down to 5 points, they're going to get momentum and they're going to really believe. And if we win on Saturday and whoever loses that game, if one of them lose, then I'd say they're out of the title race. I'd say it would be between the other two. Let me know in the comments who you would prefer to win that game. I think we'd all probably go for a draw. If you had to choose one to win, who would it be to win? It's a really tricky question because we don't know who's going to be a better challenger this season for Arsenal. Obviously, Liverpool are the champions, but City have won 4 leagues in a row prior to that. Everyone smash them like buttons. If there's anyone new watching, please like and subscribe for us. We're a new channel. We're on the road to 1,000. I'm not sure how long I can keep saying we're a new channel for. We started only this season, so I'm going to keep saying it till at least next season. Big up everyone who's watching. So would you go strong today? Would you go strong today, guys? Or would you rest players? Would you start Saka? You know, Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays every minute of every game. I feel like we need him out there, but I would give him a rest. But it's going to be very difficult because Zubimendi is, of course, suspended. So my lineup would be, do you know what? I'd give Kepa a game. I'd go Kepa in goal. I would go Ben White at right back, Lewis Skelly at left back, Hincapié and Mosquera. And then in the midfield, I'd go Norgard. I'd go Norgard, Eze, and Marino. And then Trossard's the only left winger we've got available now. Trossard, Saka, and then you know what? I'd give the young kid, big up Walker, is that his name? Herman Anos on the bench. Yeah, I'd give him a run out up front. I don't see what we've got to lose. I really don't. That's what I would do. It's a difficult one, and it's 5:45 on a Tuesday when we've got such a humongous game against Sunderland. Who do we think is going to win, Liverpool or Manchester City? What a big game that is for both teams. Such a big game for them both to be respectively 6 and 7 points behind already, and it's only going to be more if we can do the job against Sunderland. Let's hope we can do that job against Sunderland. Give me some predictions for the games against Sunderland. Do we think we can get the result? Will we beat Sunderland? Granit Xhaka's going to be, playing against his former teammates. He knows all of these players. He's going to be in the midfield against players that he's played with before. It's going to be a good game. And Sunderland under the lights at 5:30, they are going to make things difficult for us. Their crowd, they've got the most passionate fans. I watch Sunderland till I die, and if you haven't watched it, go and watch it, guys. Best football documentary I've ever seen. Really, really good. It used to be on Netflix. I'm not sure if it still is, but it's a really, really good watch, and it just shows how far that Sunderland have come from being in League One, languishing in League One. And they were finished, but they've always had proper, real working class fans. And there's a lot of stuff to envy about them clubs up there in the northeast. They live and breathe football. As much as us London teams, we love our club and all of that. I just feel like there's something different up there, up in that northeast. But look, it's going to be a tough game. but we've got to be beating the promoting sides. We have to. It's just if you're going to win league titles, you've got to be winning these games home and away. And I expect us to win. I'm going for a 2-0 Arsenal win. How much of a big miss would Gyökeres be? Now, I think it could be a huge, huge loss for Arsenal if we don't have Victor Gyökeres, if he's out for a long period of time, because we've got some massive games coming up. We play obviously Prague today, then we play Sunderland, then it's a massive week, guys. Obviously, there's the international break, and then it comes Tottenham, Bayern Munich, which is a huge game to really test ourselves against the best. It's at home. You want to win that game. You want to get that feeling of beating big teams. It'll be brilliant for us in the future. And then, of course, we play Chelsea. And Chelsea, Chelsea they're looking quite good. Chelsea. I know they had that loss against Sunderland, thought they were good against Spurs. They beat Liverpool. They're a bit hit and miss sometimes, but Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, I was on a stream yesterday with my guy who I do run the show with, Dan, Really Schooner, big him up. And he seems to think it's going to be easy. And he's usually very negative. But of course, this is what Aretea has done. He's changing everyone's mind on what we believe we can do. But that week, I looked at it in the calendar at the start of the season when the fixtures came out. Of course, when they'd done the Champions League fixtures, and I just said to myself, "Wow, to play your two London rivals, two London derbies, and sandwiched in between it, you've got Bayern Munich. It's massive. Them 3 games there, I'm positive, Dan, but I can't see us winning all 3 of them games. Beating Spurs, then beating Bayern Munich, then beating Chelsea. I think that's going to be a real tough week for us. That's why I think it's pivotal. It's so important that we go and beat Sunderland. And what about today? I mean, today, look, you want to get the win because you want to wrap things up, and I think we play the team Kira, someone, all due respect to them, towards the end. If we're already through, we can play the kids in that game. So I get it. If Aretea, I don't think he's going to make loads of changes today, but I think he's going to have to make at least 4 changes, at least. But when you're winning games, you enjoy playing football. I'm sure they all want to play. They're all probably knocking on his door saying, "Boss, don't drop me today." And it's going to be interesting. But I want to see Saka get some goals. I want Bukayo Saka to get back into goals for Arsenal, because I think our attackers, the reason why, if we don't win the league, it won't be down to any of our defenders or even our midfielders for that matter. It'll be down to our attackers not scoring enough. So our attackers have got to pull their socks up and start getting us some more goals. And listen, they do great pressing and running back, and we're a team and we're very cohesive. But I just feel like we need a little bit more. I know Saka can go to another level. I'm sure every Arsenal fan knows Saka can go to another level. Everyone, don't forget to smash them like buttons for us. Don't forget to send it out to your people. If you're watching us in a replay, still smash the likes and drop us some comments and help us get to that 1,000. We're on 856 now, slowly but surely getting to the 1,000 mark. We appreciate all the love that you guys show us. Now, just moving on to Liverpool and Manchester City. Look, it's at Anfield. And I think it could actually suit City playing at Anfield, because I feel like Man City, they could soak it up a bit like they did at the Emirates. Of course, they did that after they went 1-0 up. But I feel like, the Anfield crowd's going to be nervous. Hopefully, if we win our game, Liverpool will be 10 points behind Arsenal going into that game. Can you imagine it? Being an Arsenal fan and going into a game against Liverpool or City and you're 10 points behind. The pressure is going to be humongous. It's going to be massive. But I think the pressure is going to be more on Liverpool. They're Premier League champions. They've just spent 435 million. I think City, everyone can see there's a bit of a rebuild going on there. Obviously, after last season, no one really not no one, but people were expecting Liverpool to win the league. Everyone was saying Liverpool were the favourites, then Arsenal, and then it was Manchester City. But look, City have shown they can play different ways. And look, Liverpool have been leaking goals. And I feel like Haaland is going to score. I just don't I don't really see a game where he's not going to score. Now, I know he didn't score against Villa and they lost. So that's Man City's Achilles heel. If he doesn't score, the next top goal scorer is a Burnley player who scored 2 own goals in that game. So yeah, I think it's really important that one of them gets a win. I think a draw is no good to either of them. They could potentially draw the reverse fixture to this. So I think they're both going to be going for the win, and I'm hoping it ends up a draw. Let me know in the comments, would you rather Liverpool win, Man City win, or would you go for the draw? Don't forget, smash them likes, subscribe. If you're a new viewer, please just hit that subscribe button for us and help us get to our goal of 1,000 subs. You know, I wanted to get 1,000 subs in the first season, and we're here and we're 10 games in and we're not too far away off it now. And that's still the goal. I'm doing what the managers do when they say they want to get to 40 points. It's like Sunderland. They asked the Sunderland manager, they're up in 4th. They're halfway there already nearly. And he's saying the target is still just 40 points. Well, my target is still just 1,000 subs before the end of the season. But if you guys can help us get there even quicker, we're really, really going to appreciate it. Now, listen, guys, we've got a live tonight with a special guest coming in. It's going to be live from the studio. It was meant to be at 9 o'clock. Then I realized, hold on a minute. No one wants to come and watch our live when Real Madrid are smoking Liverpool, right? Because it's Real Madrid, Liverpool. And I'm only joking. I actually think Liverpool got a chance in that game today. And that would, if Liverpool can go and beat Real Madrid tonight, it will give them so much confidence going into that Manchester City game. And they could turn their season around, Liverpool. If they beat Real Madrid and they go and beat Man City, regardless of what Arsenal do, they can keep at 7 points by beating Real Madrid and Man City. I would stand up and be like, I'm a bit scared now, I'll be honest, because they would be 2 massive wins for Liverpool. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, the live tonight was scheduled for 9 o'clock. I've changed it now to 10 o'clock. We've got a special guest coming in, really, really good guest. It's going to be at the studio. I've changed it to 10 o'clock because obviously, like I said, no one's going to want to watch us talking football when you've got Real Madrid, a spectacle of Real Madrid and Liverpool on. So that's a tactical decision I've made, and I think it's the right decision. But 10 p.m., make sure you're tune in, guys. Like I said, we've got a real good guest coming on the show, someone that most Arsenal fans will be familiar with. So please tune in, show us some love, smash the likes, let everyone know, get your notifications turned on, guys. We need them notifications turned on because sometimes I get a little bit of time and I just do a quick random live. Let's read this one out from Walker 7. Rotate the whole backline, play or have Hermerum Anos on the bench. Yeah, look, I agree. I think we should play him. Why not? Marino looks like he's going to have to come into the midfield really with of course, Zubimendi being suspended. And let's see how we get on without Zubimendi today, because it's been a lot of like Zubimendi. Some Arsenal fans say to me, I think he's been excellent. And some say, oh, I want a little bit more from him. I was on a show last night with Anton, our good friend, and he thinks he's just as good as Caicedo. Now, look, I think he's got to do a bit more to be in put in that sort of domain with in the Premier League, because of course in La Liga he's been fantastic, and in the Euros for Spain he was great when he came on for Rodri against England. It's like it was just seamless. But yeah, really interesting to see what happens with our lineup today. I think he'll make at least 4 changes. I think Skelly comes in. I'm sure Ben White comes in. One of the centre-backs probably gets a rest. Maybe Saliba, where he's just come back from a knock. Obviously, Zubimendi's not going to play, so that's going to be another change. Gyökeres isn't going to play. So there's going to be changes for sure. The only thing is when you make these changes, I said it in the Brighton game, is you can still have on paper a top team, but these players have never played together. So the chemistry, the cohesion's not there. Slavia Prague, they win most weeks in their league. They're all used to winning. I'm sure that's going to be a fortress of a stadium. Big up all the boys that are out there now. Charlie, who comes on our show every Monday, he couldn't come on last night because he's flying out to Prague today. And I think when you're going out there, it's actually a better kickoff time, 5:45. For us folks who are working and stuff in England, we'd much rather it be a 7 or 8 o'clock kickoff, of course. But for the Arsenal fans travelling out there, I think it's always better because then you can come out and you've still got a bit of the night to go to a few of the bars and whatever else you might want to do. So big up all the Gooners that are out there. If any of you are watching, have a safe journey and make sure you go and support the boys. And everyone, don't forget to smash them likes help get us up to the 1,000. Now, Liverpool play Real Madrid tonight. What Liverpool's going to turn up? Is it going to be the Liverpool to turn up against Aston Villa? I think they looked a lot better when they had Gravenberch in the team. Is it going to be that Liverpool, the Liverpool from last year that beat Real Madrid? If I remember rightly, they beat them 2-0. Or is it going to be the Liverpool that's lost 6 out of the last 8 games? I think I've just got a sneaky feeling Liverpool might win tonight. Don't know why. I just feel like Liverpool at Anfield, under the lights, Champions League. If there is ever a game that they want to win to bring themselves back, it would be tonight. Hope it doesn't happen. Hope they lose to Real Madrid and their confidence is shattered more. And then, they go and get a draw against City on the weekend. But yeah, really, really interesting. Let's go through some of the games, the other games tonight. Let's have a look. Who else we got playing? Of course, we've got Napoli, Frankfurt. Now, Napoli, they lost 7-2 in the last game to PSV. Couldn't believe that. But I think Napoli at home should beat Frankfurt. Frankfurt conceded a lot of goals. There's 5 Atletico Madrid put past them. I think Liverpool, they put 5 past them. Of course, we play Slavia Prague. I think we'll get the job done, whatever team we play out. Atletico Madrid at home to Union St. Gallis. I'm going for Atletico Madrid, easy win. Bodo Glimt against Monaco. I'm going for Bodo Glimt, Juventus against Sporting. That's a tricky one. Juventus, they're not Juve of old. Going for a draw. Liverpool, Real Madrid. I'm actually going to go for a draw in this. I'm going to go for a 2-2 thriller tonight. Olympiacos against PSV. I'm going for a away PSV win. Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich. Wow. What games we've got tonight. 2 blockbuster games at 8 o'clock. Good job. I've changed that live to 9 o'clock. Very good job. And of course, Spurs at home to Copenhagen. Listen, Tottenham at home. I think surely they've got to win that game. But I wouldn't be surprised if they only got a draw. Let's touch on Tottenham because, they were only 5 points behind us. They lost. Now it's 8 points. The gap just gets bigger and bigger. But I feel like Thomas Frank, he's the manager they need to stick with. Because let's not forget how bad they were last season. They finished 17th last season. And I feel like Thomas Frank, he's got them much better defensively. I just don't think they have the attackers. They missed out on getting Eze. I don't think Xavi Simons is quite good enough yet. But he's only a young lad. But look, Richarlison's not good enough. Dom Solanke's always injured. He's a decent striker on his day. But is he going to get you into the top 4? I don't think so. But Thomas Frank, I think, is a good manager. I think he done great things with Brentford, and he's left Brentford in good stead. I actually thought Brentford would really struggle this season with Keith Andrews, fellow Irishman of mine. But I thought they'd struggle with him because they lost Mbeumo, they lost Norgard, their captain, and they lost Wissa to Newcastle. Speaking of Wissa, he's still injured because I haven't seen him play for Newcastle yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. And look, Tottenham and Newcastle, I think Tottenham, because of how low they finished last season, I think if they can get into the top 8, it will be a good, same as United. If they can both make Europe, I think it's a great season. Because let's not forget they lost a lot of games last year. And if it weren't for the other 3 being so bad, they could have really been in a relegation scrap. But yeah, I think the top 5 is kind of nailed on. I think it's going to be, I think the top 5 for me is going to be Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, and 5th is a real tough one. Who's going to take that 5th spot? That really could be anyone. It really could be anyone. That 5th spot. Bournemouth could even get it. Palace, United, Newcastle. Let's talk about Newcastle because, Eddie Howe's had a lot of credit. And even last year, there were people going, he's done a better job at Newcastle. Arsenal should get him and all of this. But they've since they got into the top 4 that year, and I know they got it through the back door this year. They got into the top 5 and they've done brilliantly well in the Champions League. but their league form has really not been good at all. They lost to Brighton, losing to West Ham. West Ham can't get a win against anyone, and they've got a win. And I think it's about time that, we give Eddie Howe a lot of praise, a lot of praise. But he seems to be getting it wrong a lot lately. And I do think if Newcastle, look, it looks like they're going to go through in the Champions League, but if they finish outside the top six today, I think he's under a lot of pressure. I really do. And look, Jose Mourinho's at Benfica now, and I'm not sure what sort of contract he's signed, but knowing him, he won't be there long. But I just see Jose going to Newcastle one day. I don't know why. He worked with Bobby Robson before. The team, is quite a defensive side already, which is, look, Eddie Howe and Arteta, they both, when Arteta first came at Arsenal, 2022-23, we went for the title, Gabriel Jesus, Granit Xhaka, Martinelli on fire, Odegaard. We were playing attacking football. And Eddie Howe used to play really attacking football with Bournemouth, with lesser players than what he's got at Newcastle. But he plays a bit more of a pragmatic style now. And look, maybe that is just the way the game is going. Maybe that is the way the game is going. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're a new viewer and help us get to that 1,000. I just came on today to do a quick live because I'm all set up and I'm going on the football terrace at 3:15. So guys, go get yourselves over there and watch that and drop some comments and show me some support on the show if you can. That'd be much appreciated. I'm on with a good friend of mine, David Speaks Football. He's new to this like me as well. So go and subscribe to his channel. He's a Manchester United fan, but he's funny. He's got good wit, good humor. And yeah, go and subscribe to him. I think we're on with LB. It's either LB, who's a Man City fan, or Don, who's a Chelsea fan. But yeah, guys, I just thought I would do a quick little live while I was free, while I was preparing for this game, for this show on the football terrace. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. It's a really small live. I know it's only a small show, but I'll be coming back with another show tonight, 10 p.m. from the studio with a special guest. So make sure you tune in. And guys, please smash that like button for us. Subscribe, help us get to 1,000. My prediction for Arsenal today is Arsenal to win 2-0, Saka to get both goals, and then we move on to Sunderland. But yeah, everyone, big yourself up. If you're watching it on the replay, get in the comments for us and make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, everyone.